Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a recent publication from the highly prestigious journal Nature. On the surface, it just looks like your standard publisher correction document. But if we really look closer, it reveals this absolutely fascinating contrast between the microscopic details of scientific publishing and the massive, sprawling machinery of modern research. And honestly, it shows us exactly why we can ultimately trust the scientific record. Okay, let's dive into this, because this entire explainer, this whole journey we're about to take through a vast network of elite scientific institutions, is sparked by exactly one tiny, seemingly insignificant error. Literally just one. Listen to the single sentence that triggered this official publisher correction. Quote, "In the version of this article initially published, the label for Fig 3a read tract mean AD instead of white matter tracks." End quote. That's it. That is the highly specific, micro-level catalyst for our entire story today. Pitting these two against each other, we have the incorrect label, tract mean AD, versus the corrected version, white matter tracks. It's just a few mere words on a single axis of a single figure, Figure 3a to be exact. Now, in the grand scheme of a massive scientific paper detailing white matter, micro, and macrostructure brain charts for the human lifespan, this is an incredibly small micro-error. It's barely a blip. But, as you know, in science, precision is absolutely everything. Section 1. The Macro Response, an Army of Authors. To correct that tiny micro-error, the scientific record must formally update the macro scale of the paper, and this brilliantly illustrates the massive collaborative weight behind modern neurological studies. We have over 30 distinct authors listed here. This isn't just a couple of scientists tinkering in a basement lab. No way. This single correction officially pulls in experts from Vanderbilt, the National Institutes of Health, Johns Hopkins University, UCLA, and a whole host of other top-tier universities. Section 2. The Vanderbilt University Hub. As we trace through this author list, Vanderbilt University clearly stands out as the absolute epicenter of this research. Just to give you a sense of this incredible momentum, we've got computer science, electrical and computer engineering, the medical scientist training program, the Vanderbilt Memory and Alzheimer's Center, the Genetics Institute, the Brain Institute, and the Department of Medicine. I mean, this is what massive interdisciplinary scale actually looks like. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Add to that list neurology, psychology, and human development, psychiatry and behavioral sciences, radiology and radiological sciences, the Institute of Imaging Science, biomedical engineering, neurological surgery, special education, and biostatistics. It literally takes experts from cutting-edge neurological surgery all the way over to special education and computer science just to properly map the complex white matter of the human brain. And what makes this network even more fascinating is how these disciplines overlap. Notice how individual researchers like Michael E. Kim, Bennett A. Landman, or Angela L. Jefferson are attached to multiple departments simultaneously. Landman, for instance, spans computer science, radiology, biostatistics, and several others. It's this tangled, brilliant web of modern science where the rigid lines between engineering, medicine, and data processing just completely dissolve. Section 3. Beyond Vanderbilt, the consortia. Let's move out a bit and see how this builds, because mapping the human lifespan requires wider national networks. Now, what's really interesting about this is that we aren't just dealing with individual authors anymore. We're dealing with entire overarching study teams. We've got the HAVS HD study team, represented by Sid O'Brien out of the University of North Texas, the Alzheimer's Disease Neuroimaging Initiative with Arthur Toga at UCLA, and the BioCard study team with Marilyn Albert at Johns Hopkins. These entire national consortia and their leads are permanently etched into this document's metadata. All of them pulled in for a notice-correcting tract mean AD. Section 4. The Open Access Mechanism, the Perfect Record. Now, you might be wondering how this all officially gets handled. Well, the original Nature article and this subsequent correction operate under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International License. Simply put, this is an open access license that permits use, sharing, adaptation, distribution, and reproduction in any medium or format. This specific legal framework fundamentally enables the free flow of scientific knowledge. But, as we'll see, with that free flow comes some strict responsibility. Because open access certainly doesn't mean a free-for-all. Look at these 3 strict rules of the license. 1, you must give appropriate credit to the original authors, all 30 plus of them. 2, you have to provide a link to the Creative Commons license. And 3, which is the real kicker here, you must indicate if changes were made.
Even in a globally shared open access environment, scientific integrity demands rigorous, formal tracking of any modifications. If you tweak a single figure label, you have to document it publicly.
So the crucial point is how incredibly fast this giant machine can move when it needs to. Check out this timeline. The original article was published on May 13th, 2026. The publisher correction was officially issued and published online on June 2nd, 2026. In less than 3 weeks, the publisher identified the error, mobilized this massive administrative record, and meticulously fixed the HTML and PDF versions of the article to ensure the data was perfectly accurate. Which leaves us with this final, kind of funny thought for our explainer today. If it takes a sprawling, interdisciplinary army of the world's top scientists to map the white matter of the human brain, what does it take to fix a typo? Well, as we've discovered today, it takes that exact same army. It's a brilliant testament to the uncompromising scale of modern scientific publishing, ensuring that every piece of data you read can be trusted. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and keep asking questions.